Hi, welcome to the last edition of KebbieG Specialty List from this season. Next week should be all foundations, new deck lists. So we're gonna get into the last deck that I'm gonna be featuring on the channel for me, and that would be since because technically it's Friday, so it is technically the last video of the season. We're gonna be playing Enchantress Heart and Scales. This deck did put up a 5-0 a while back, and of course I do play Heart and Scales in this a lot, so I figured this is a perfect spot to actually play this deck. So it's a little bit of the Enchantress part where we're drawing cards when we cast enchantments while also, having the counter synergy. So if you like this kind of content, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification for future videos. We're on our way to 2,000 subs. Let's get there together. Let's get into this deck. Let's see the deck in action. So we have 4 Heart and Scales. We have 3 rescues to protect our, Selesnya Champion or Calyx. And then we have Spirited Companion to redraw. Do that little bit of effect. Visitor and Scavenger. Now we have basically 8 copies of this type of effect, which is kind of nice. We have 4 Innkeeper's Talent, so we have additional Heart and Scales. 4 Shelter by Ghost, because it's just a really good card for removal, and plus it helps protect our threats. Then we have Juke Naturalist to help discount our stuff. That is the deck we're trying out. We have a couple layers for a little bit additional Constellation triggers. Sideboard, we have 2 Resin Beach for Graveyard Hate. 3 Invasion of Gomicons as a way to fight through, combo and control and stuff like that. 2 Shaper Sanctuaries for heavy metal removal. 4 Portable Holes for aggro. We have 2 Pick Your Poisons for mainly for artifact and enchantment removal, but additionally it also is pretty nice against Transmog, where we can get the Atraxa or the Valgamoth. 2 Wedding Announcements for the grinding matchups. Probably end up just trimming back on Scavengers and Visitors there, because, 1-drops are not as important in that kind of a matchup. That is the deck we're trying out. Let's see if this deck has what it takes to compete on the arena ladder. Let's get into it. But layer on green, go. Tap land, sure. Scavenger. Heart and Scales. Put a counter on it, go. I guess you got a Fatal Push. Mardu, it's probably Grease Fang if I had to guess. So we play the Lush. Against a black base deck, Rescue is probably nice. Play a Talent. And attempt to attack you for 5 or 7. Next turn we'll play the Champion. Okay, there's a removal spell. But him not discarding anything makes me think it's not Fang. Let's play Visitor, actually. Pay into the Talent. And put a counter on the Visitor and say, go. Because I would rather play the Champion with a Rescue up, and that's the reasoning. It is Fang, so why wouldn't he just pitch a card instead of taking 3? It makes no sense. So if he plays Fang, he could potentially win in 2 turns. So I do need to do something kind of extreme soon to be able to pull off a win here. Okay, Harvester is not what I'm worried about. So that tells me he probably does not have a Fang. Okay, Overlord. That's good. There's the Fang for next turn. Alright, we did draw the land. So we get to play a Champion. Put the counter on the Visitor. Smack. Chomps. Say go. And keep in mind, he's probably going to win in 2 turns, right? He has the Fang. He has... Honestly, does he go for Sky Sovereign? Or does he go for the other option, which is 2-turn clock? Okay, so he goes to the Parhelion line. So he attacks out. Alright, so we get to draw a card. Block here. Another cave, huh? We don't got nothing going on here, so we're just going to pay into the Talent, I guess. Pump. But we're dead. Yeah, he just gets back the Sky Sovereign. So we have Rest in Peace. Maybe Sanctuary. That's about it. We could trim on some of these. Actually, let's do 3/3 and then trim on a Naturalist and a Visitor. I don't like that. Thicket. Scavenger. Go. So it's Courtyard. Companion. Pushes. Okay. That could be useful depending on what he does this turn. Tap land. Thoughtseize takes my Sheltered. Play Calyx. Pump the doggo. Hit ya. Go. Opponent is thinking hard. Plays a tap land. Nothing really going on in his yard yet. So we play Visitor. We definitely need to be hyper aggressive here. We need to close this game out before it slips away. Looks like a better Triumph to get the Calyx. Again, takes 3. I think like that's defeating the purpose of this card in your deck. I mean, really tell me you have no vehicles at all in this hand? I guess you're almost at the Sky Sovereign. Just casting it, so. Alright, so we pump the Champion. Hit you with the Champion. Trades. Go. Croxa, immediately punishing me for not playing the Temple Garden. And okay, an Overlord. Do you find a Fang? Does not. That's good. No vehicles either. But next turn he does have a Croxa. Go. What a really awkward time. I don't have a choice but to cast it. And he has no removal. He would have casted it ahead of time. You can get back the Fang, or the Croxa. So we're essentially at 9. I need something quick. Like a Shelter by Ghost. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so we have a reasonable card top deck. I guess we're dead though, aren't we? Okay, I win one. Let's get into the next. Through PayPal, I'm offering for $20 play your deck through a league. I also give you a article about how to improve the list, and as well as some sideboard guides in very particular matchups. If you want to check out, the link is in the description. Now, let's get back into the video. Scales, go. Okay, a Fountain. Another Scales. Tap land. Keep the land. Go. It's probably Control. Less likely it's actually Spirits. So plays land and passes. Attempt to cast a Calyx. Probably gonna bait a counter, if I had to guess. Or not. He's just gonna have a removal spell for the Calyx. Yeah, he probably has a lockdown inbound. A Strict Proctor Lotus Field combo. Okay. So we play Champion. There you go. It's a Fairy. I'm not sure if we could I think we can get there with this deck. I'm not sure. So he untaps. We crack one. Trying to bait anything here. Crack another. Bait something. Don't need that. Do I want to answer that's a fairy? So he chomps. Shelter by Ghost. Eat the Teferi.
Really should have seen that.
Go. We need to leave this thing up, so just in case we need to protect our threat. He does have to pay 2 extra, which is not really a lot considering the fact that he has Lotus Fields. But, well, sure. Okay. Draws a card, untaps his 2 lands. He might be honestly at the point of the game where he might just start ending my turn. Alright, so we can keep playing our stuff. I guess Hardened Scales is fine. Say go. So he's making 1/1s. And a Deluge. So even if we Harden Scales here.
You know what? I'm not done.
I wonder if we could win this game. Strict Proctor, that's not a big deal. Passes? Looks like it, yes. Alright, we'll attempt to cast a Hardened Scales. I'm not expecting it to resolve, but we'll see. See, which I'm wanting to bait anything here. Please don't tell me this is to settle the wreckage. And what do you bother hitting here? Is that even necessary? Like,
You are not much of a roadblock.
wouldn't it make more sense to eat the Generous Visitor? Since I think this one's better against control. The other one's better against everything else. Because, I mean, when enchantment ETBs is less likely when they counter your spells. But Visitor still does trigger.
Remember your training.
Keep up the pace.
So you should be casting something with his Lotus Fields this turn. It makes no sense not to. Cameo?
Let us see if your talents are worth
Cameo.
cataloging. The past is never forgotten.
Preparing another farewell. I guess put on white. Smack the Teferi. Oh, never mind. We're dead. So against control, you could bring in these. These are all bad. Trim. Actually, we should probably just cut the Scavenger. Seems pretty fair. And a Shelter by Ghost seems pretty reasonable. And a natural. Let's run it like that. Then get Scales. Go. Tap land. I don't want to do this then. I think I just play Companion. Alright, a hall. Okay, there's a land. So we play Visitor. Tap land. I don't think I need a Verge. Smack. Go. You could have a March for the Visitor or the Scales. I wouldn't be surprised. But now we get to champion into a lair, which is kind of nice. I wish we would be facing aggro, but we're not. Put that on white. Hit you for 2. You have something at instant speed? Or 1/1 shark. To trade with the Visitor. Okay. That's reasonable. This is a little bit more painful against the 2-drop. Since it enters the battlefield effect. If you play another champion and an invasion of Gomacon. Get rid of the farewell. I think we do something like that. Flip the invasion. And say go. Actually, that does draw 2 cards. That's still kind of based. Go. So now he has to try to remove stuff. Because he has nothing else. He has no sweeper. So I'm pretty content with my position, right? So if I activate it now, he's going to have to use the get lost now. Or he could use a March. That's another possibility. Use up his mana correctly. Or he could get lost plus March, exile something from his hand. If this last card is a white card. So our turn probably consists of a Calyx. If I had to guess. So 3 blue, that doesn't really... Okay, you're an Impulse plus a Get Lost. Because you kind of have to kill this guy, right? Question is, can I win this turn? So if I Calyx plus this to get some more +1/+1 counter. Okay. So I don't know if that's enough or not. That might be. Damn it. So close. We're at 1. Now he could farewell. We have a visitor. Another champion. And a naturalist. Put a counter on the visitor. Grow the champion. Go ahead. So now you need 3 removal spells. Because Shelter by Ghost could close this game out. If you play a creature, that is. So if he just passes, that probably tells me he might have a Settle the Wreckage. So we'll start off with a Hardened Scales. Debate any kind of removal spell. Okay. So our turn ends. Did we get there? That is the question. I mean, you have 8 mana. You have 3 cards that are unknown. I don't really think these 2 are going to do it. Even this plus this is only 2 blocks. Not enough. Let's just do that so we can get more counters. To make it easier. Wedding announcement's nice. Oh. Talent. This is kind of fun. Pay into it. Now they'll have extra ward. You still have a rescue up. So that's nice. Opponent is slow rolling me. He's like, what the heck, man? Sure, got it. I think we bring back the visitor back in. Possibly? Yeah, maybe it's just run it back the way it was. Tap land. So we lead off with a visitor. Say, go. Cave. Talent. Pump. Impulses. That's a good sign. So he doesn't really have any much interaction or counter spells. So that tells me like a lot about his hand. That he's that big of a desperation. Catch a go. And the question more is, do we play champion next? Or wedding announcements or KebbieG? I could possibly just play another talent plus level this up. But I think I want to play the champion. Pump the champion. So if he has to get lost, he's probably going to try to figure out how to handle that. Impulse. Oh, cool. So next turn, I don't think I want to KebbieG. Probably makes more sense to Innkeeper's talent plus level. That way these two both get ward 1, which makes it a little bit harder to answer against control. I don't think I have to necessarily worry about a farewell. I could probably get through in time. So, Strict Pokda. And a Strict Pokda. Hardened Scales, that's interesting. Does that change anything? I don't think so, right? Because I won't be able to profitably use my mana if I play this. Level up once. And that's fine. We'll live with that. Actually, I guess I could have not bothered with the ward. Shove for 8. I'm surprised he didn't exchange 1 Strict Pokda. So he doesn't need to sack anything. He only has 2 cards in hand. Next turn we can Scales plus Wedding Announcement, which Wedding Announcement I think is better into a potential whatever he's doing. So these are taxed. You only have 4 mana, so like Wandering Emperor is kind of off the question. I could pump into this to make sure they have double ward 1, which makes it harder. And I can see the merit in that. Okay, so he does pay into it, makes that go away. That's a little bit interesting. See what you have in hand. Ah, crap. Ah, I didn't mean to pay it. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. So, yeah, I hate Strict Proctors. So, yeah, I should have just done Wedding Announcement plus Hardened Scales. It would have been a lot better. Maybe, but the argument could be that these are better post-farewells, if that is his last card in hand. 3, he has enough for it. Yeah, so that was definitely the better choice then, I guess. We play Scales, Wedding Announcement, go. He has no way of generating tokens. He can turn on a hall, though. That takes 5 mana, so I'm not close to being there yet. We play KebbieG. Put a counter on the thing, which I can attack with. Go. It's like he has an answer for the KebbieG. Okay. Alright, so he just passes. We play Naturalist. I guess I could have just done both, but it's fine. I can put a counter from the map. A dog is fine, I guess. So if I attack out, he takes 3. Is that good? I also can't give them any outs. I could double attack the invasion. I think I just pass. Next turn is lethal anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. Alright, so we play Doggo. Put a counter on the 2/2. And then we just keep growing the team across the board. So we pay into it. Try to pump the 3/3. Keep it. Pump a 4/4. Everything at base. Pray no settle the wreckage. Oh my gosh. Alright, so now we're going to start on the Cave of the Frost Dragon plan. So we turn on the cave. Put it on the cave. And smack face? You have removal? No! 1-1! Let's get into the next. I am now offering Patreon and locals content exclusive. It includes sideboard guides, budget guides, exclusive videos, as well as other types of content. If you want to check out the link, it's in the description. Now, let's get back into the video. Tap, land, go. A swamp. I mean, a verge. Oh yeah, we're going to play a verge. A talent. Go. So, which black base deck are you? Let's play a visitor. Level it up. And say go. So we put a counter on it. Alright, so that pumps him. Go. We got a 4/4 with Ward 1. Not necessarily the greatest thing in the world, but it is a thing we could do. Watch him play Liliana and down tick. And we cry inside. Oh, get my sheltered by ghost. Sure. Calyx is inbound, potentially. Throw a land, we might just honestly pump into the talent and save the Calyx for later. Alright, so he's fully tapping out. There goes our threat. Let's just play the Calyx, I guess. Go. The opponent is thinking about what to do here. He has so much removal. I was gonna say, it looks like it's the slasher deck, if I had to guess. Now we draw a Hardened Scales. And a companion, which we grow the companion. Because I'm pretty sure if we attack with the Calyx, he's probably just going to block. We're going to pass. So if we don't draw a land, we got a Hardened Scales, which is fine. I guess this is really just a 4-mana Hardened Scales in this deck. I wish I can get past the Slasher. There goes my Scales. That's sad. Okay, so he's gonna try to go for the kill? No. Pay into it. Shove in there. Trade the doggo. Alright, see what he has now. Invoke Despair. Alright, so we're going to take 4. Oh, that's not good. So we're running out of steam here. You could play Jengatha, but I'm not sure if I want to. Oh, Slasher, so we're just dead now. So again, we have Sanctuary. Maybe some Invasions. I think we just trim. I think we want to trim one more Sheltered for the last Invasion. Wedding Announcement could be pretty reasonable over Scavenger and a Visitor. Our curve is a little bit more mid-rangey, but that's fine, I think. Doggo replaces itself. Probably Naturalist. Run it like that. Tapland Goo. So our goal, I think, is to Naturalist into Champion. Takes my, I guess, talent. Play the K. Play the Naturalist. Go. You have removed from my Naturalist? That would be very rude of you, opponent. Yeah, he does. So, if you have not watched them already, check out the other videos this week. Sure. I played a deck close to the regional championship tree this week. I've not recorded it yet, but man, he is top decking every single thing. That is so lucky. All right, so we play Doggo. Draw. Play Innkeeper's Talent. Go. So now we have essentially, I guess, something to do with our mana. Path of Peril, I guess. We just keep failing. We're not able to get to that yet, right? So we're just gonna pay, say go. So he gets to basically have an advantage on the top deck wars. He just top decks a Duress, like that is perfect. I mean, that's not a bad top deck for us, I suppose. So now we got a 6/6. Watch him top deck a creature like with Death Touch. Just enough to block this or have a removal spell. Desperately draws. That's a good sign. Play the Scavenger. Put everything onto the Scavenger since we want to be able to diversify our threats. Hit ya. Take it. So now we start paying into this, I suppose. Go. Calyx doing a little bit of work here. Well, there goes our board. Okay, Invasion. We have yet to... Oh my god, that backfires. Oh my god, that backfires. This is a non-bow. Finding out live. Ouch. All these Invoke Despairs are absolutely oppressive. Alright. Alright, Cave to the win? Come on, no, not a removal spell. Go. You honestly might just start turning on the Hive. I mean, I'm not drawing anything relevant right now. And yeah, I think he's got this one wrapped up. It seems like black-based decks are pretty hard for this version. Like, I would think it was not that difficult, but for some reason this one is struggling against the black-based decks. All right, Doggo is a nice draw. Problem is, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, it's just for a little bit of boost and ward 2 on the Doggo, but then again, he just invokes Despairs me. Do you invoke Despair a dog? You do. That's pretty low. Thankfully, though, he did manage to get the same card. Somehow that worked. I don't know how. Go. So now he's going to hit me with probably a Hive plus Mutavault. So we're essentially at 2 now. Which means we probably lose this game. Yeah, this deck is pretty fun, but I'm not sure what this deck needs to fulfill the last parts of the deck. Like, yeah, that's not going to do it. 1 and 2, let's get to the wrap-up. So what do we think about this deck overall? It felt pretty reasonable but we didn't really get the chance to face the matchups I want to. I think this deck might be a little bit better against the aggro matchups, right? With the Shelter by Ghosts helping against red base decks. But we faced, I believe, 2 black base decks and a control shell, which we managed to be the control deck, but we lost to the other one. I'm not sure what cards I would consider for this list that to give it that extra little oomph. We only have 2 caves in the mana base, but it's still some sort of utility. Besides, seems like the Selesnya Champion, we didn't really have that much card draw, besides, I guess, the little dog. So that's something I kind of wish we could address a little bit, besides Chamber Sanctuary coming out of the side. If you have any suggestions at all for this deck, let me know down in the comment section. And keep in mind, the only change that I made, because I didn't have 2 more Yakavos Lair. So normally those 2 Lush Protocoves would be more layers. So that would give you a little bit more constellation, but I don't think it's going to be that much more, right? So, but I do think the deck is pretty fun. I think it's something you could bring to your F&M and potentially do quite well. So until next time, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Shout out to all my supporters. And if you want to see any other content from me, check out either one of these 2 videos and playlist. And I'll talk to you soon.